Zechariah 5:3. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth.
So now we was just talking about the salvation, the strangeness of the salvation. Why is it going to be so strange? Because we're going to be taken up in chariots of heaven, which you call UFOs. That's going to be the strange part of it. When it says he cometh with clouds, it means the clouds of heaven. It means so-called UFOs. If you ever seen the movie Independence Day, the UFO was cloaked in a fiery cloud before it showed itself. So that's the same exact way the Lord is going to come. Now, this is the same curse that goes about through all the earth. This is the curse that it's talking about. It's talking about the so-called UFOs.
Go ahead, start back at the top line.
Zechariah 5:3. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it.
Everyone that stealeth. Did not the so-called white man steal the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans?
That's right.
Did not they steal them and then ship them to different places and then use them in hardcore bondage and built up their land off of them and reaped every single benefit off of them that they could? Raped their women, killed their children, castrated the men? That's the curse. That's your curse. That's why you fucking white people get abducted and tortured by the angels of the Lord.
That's right.
That's why you get taken up in those UFOs and some of you never come back. That's why you have so fucked up visitations from the angels through this curse, through these so-called UFOs.
And every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
There goes that cloud again. Like I said, when the Lord returns, he's going to come with what you call a so-called UFO. He's coming with clouds. That's the burden of Egypt, which is America. Because another way, other than the nuclear missiles, other than the uproars of the people, other than the economy falling, other than these diseases, that America is going to be destroyed, is going to be destroyed by concentrated fire, which you call lasers, straight from the UFOs. So that's the burden of Egypt, other than the elect, because we're going to be a burden to you Egyptians too, to you Babylonians, to you Edomites, to you Elamites, to you Ishmaelites, to you Hamites. We're going to be a burden to you 2/3 too.
Is that it on that?
Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Is that not what's happening with your Occupy Wall Street movement? Are not the white people going against the white people now? Are not the white people starting to curse out the elites of this world? That's the Egyptians, the slave masters, going against the slave masters. That's you dwellers in Egypt going against the rest of the dwellers in Egypt. Bugged out niggas is going to get caught up in the mayhem.
Right. Get 2 chapter 15. 14.
Yeah, the devil right there. That's not Jesus Christ. That's not his true biblical belief. I've been lying with Jesus Christ is a so-called black man, which you call a Negro. He doesn't have leprosy.
Judah,
yeah, that's because you don't know it.
Levi, Simon,
that's why you would call him Negro.
Ivan,
what does Negro mean?
Reuben, Naphtali, Asher.
Now shut the fuck up, because that's not what it means. Keep on walking. You keep on walking too, man. I don't want this stench.
Jesus Christ rules! Our Father art in heaven, hallowed be thy name!
Second Ezra chapter 15.
Or 15? At the top?
Nah, start at verse 14.
Go ahead.
We're going to get on you Egyptians going against Egyptians. And people rising up against people. I'm going to explain what that is.
2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. Where is that main destruction going to come? To the so-called white man's world, which is mainly here in America. That's where the destruction is going to come.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
One people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands. What's that called? That's going to be your race wars going on. It's going to be race wars on the land of America. They're already labeling you Latinos and you Negroes as terrorists. They're already calling you terrorists. Really, they're calling every American citizen a terrorist. Everyone that believes in the prophecies of the Bible. If you believe that the Lord is coming back, you're a terrorist. If you're missing a finger on your head, you're a terrorist. If you have more than 7 days of food stored in your house, you're a terrorist. If you have a beard on your face, you're a terrorist.
It's pretty extreme views.
Oh, it's very extreme view.
Is it true?
Sounds like extremism.
Hey, the Bible is an extreme book.
Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
Sedition among men and invading one another. When that famine happens, when you're starving, when martial law comes in and they take all the food you have stored up, what are you going to do to get your food? You're going to run into your neighbor's house. The running in of one another. You're going to break and enter. You're going to kill whoever you have to kill, and you're going to take their food. You're going to take their water.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Who's your kings and your princes? Your kings are your elites. Your princes are your head seats on the EU and the UN. Your presidents, your governors, your senators, your governmental figures. That's your princes. They're not regarding them now. They're occupying everywhere. They have uproars and riots everywhere, overthrowing governments. And your elites are the ones who's funding all that. Your elites are the ones who setting the Occupy Wall Street up. Why? So they can take away your rights. So they can impose martial law on you. So they can put you in a military police state. Give you curfew. Cut off your electricity. Take your kids away from you. Imprison you indefinitely without a trial. That's why they're funding all that. That's why all this is happening. Really, it's all happening because it's spoken of through the words of the Lord. It's all prophecy. It's all going to happen anyway, and there's nothing you can do about it.
We get Isaiah 13. Start the verse.
Isaiah 13 and 6. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand.
How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand.
It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
Every man's heart shall melt. This stuff's so terrible that's going to be going on that some people are just going to be dying from shock. Some people are going to have heart attacks because they're so scared. All the men who thought they were strong, they're going to be weak out here. There's going to be nothing you can do when the destruction of the Lord comes.
Verse 8. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one in another. Their faces shall be as flame.
What's some of the pangs and sorrows? Already told you. Your famine, your martial law, your power outages. These people are going to go fucking nuts not having TV for a week. The last time that power outage happened in San Diego, people were going crazy. And it was just for about 13 hours. You people are weak out here.
Verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, and lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
So you say we're extreme, that's because the Lord is coming with extreme destruction.